Okay, I'm back with Wednesday for September 28th, 2022. It says the target time is 16:11, but he claims that he fell asleep during this puzzle, which is plausible. So I think maybe our target time is actually a bit faster than this, but we'll see. Coveted Michelin designation is a Michelin star. Six-pack unit is a can, a single can. Wrap up. Tai Chi, in which crossing one's fingers makes the letter R, is ASL, American Sign Language. No relation. I guess these two people with the last name Moore are not related. Accord competitors. Hondas, maybe? No, Honda makes Accord, so it makes Accords, so that doesn't make any sense. Side words. I would say alas, that's one word. Breakout caused by a sweaty uniform. Some kind of rash? Doesn't really fit. BTS is V, Suga, and RM. BTS is a K-pop band, but I don't know who those people are in relation to them. Recent arrival, new something. Igbo and Kanuri are spoken. So Igbo, I think, is like a West African language, but I don't know any more detail than that, unfortunately. Mitigates, I think, is eases. Shout of support. Olay? I guess shout of celebration. I don't know if it's a shout of support. Mad magazine symbol, that's Alfred E. Newman? Doesn't fit. It also might be with a U. If it's just Alfred Newman, then I don't really like it, unless it's part of this gimmick. So there might be like a missing E or a missing N or something like that. Okay. A storage site is a silo. I guess this is just Africa. This looks like William something. And Fargo. Wrap up is sew up. I don't really like it, but this is probably William. His wife in Spanish, Senora. Et alii and others. Accord competitors could be Camrys. A sound at the door is a rap. Yale student is an Eli. A rectory is a clergy house. Switches gears as in a business strategy is pivots. Word that commentators may extend is goal. Chicago to Miami. Southeast or east-southeast? I actually think it's east-southeast. Site with tech reviews. Is that Ynet? I don't really know, honestly. I'm not that tuned into latest tech stuff. Marble material is agate. Easy mark is a sap, maybe? The DC dealmaker is a pole. Idiosyncratic behavior is a tick. Good place to wallow is in a sty. a contract directive, or something that's missing. An initial is missing, I think. Okay, so the Fargo actor is also has an initial missing. So I think this is Alfred E. Newman, with the awareness that this actually could be a U. I don't know how they spell his name. Given that this is an initialism of some kind, U and W both seem about the same to me. Actually, Senora could be wrong as well. It means like Mrs. But I don't know if it also is the word for wife. Could this be Backney? Is that how they choose to spell it? If this is not Senora? I would spell it with a K personally, but I don't know if it's a real word, so. It'd help if I knew this Fargo actor. But I've heard it's a good movie, but I just haven't seen it. The growth in the skin is a cyst. Spectrum or infinity are both ISPs. Sparkle, pep. Not sparkle the verb, but sparkle the noun. Sounds of satisfaction are Oz. Gave the okay. Initial here. Contract directive. Yellow Teletubby with a curly antenna. Which one is that? Poe is red. Tinky Winky is too long. I think he's green anyway. Lala is too short. So Poe, Tinky Winky, Lala. So it must be the last one, whose name I can't remember. That's too bad. I'll probably remember once I get some of the clues that cross it. A rodent with a restaurant chain is Chuck E. Cheese, but since it's a gimmick clue, it's just Chuck Cheese. Number after do. Do 1, do 2, do 3, do 4, do 5, do 6, do 7, do 8, do 9, do 10. Yeah, I'm lost. Part of a foot. Well, the sole is the only thing. Sole and heel both fit, but neither of them work with the C. The back, I don't like it at all. Could it not be Chuck E. Cheese? What would it be instead? Well, so the H is right, because Yo-Ho, I think, is the pirate chant opener. Kind of card. Psychics claims ESP, so that ND is right. Place to get a date. Easy win, I think, is a romp, probably. A SIM card is a kind of card. Como es? No, it could be eso. I don't know the place to get a date. Gave the okay. Like, looking at the letters, I want to say lead, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Man. So for slicker, the R at the end looks good because it presumably is a comparative word. But the E is in like just the wrong spot for that to make sense. So if Chuck E. Cheese is wrong, I don't know what it is. Not standing in an open field during a lightning storm is common sense, so it must be south-southeast. Common sense. Italian pronoun. think this must be Mia. I guess these are aliases. They're, of course, not the real name. Not the real names for the K-pop people. Recent arrival is a ni. Oh, it's Mio. Okay, masculine version. A neonate, I guess, is a recent arrival to this world. Let's say it is Ynet. Now the U looks worse than the W there to me, although I still couldn't say why because I don't know the proof of purchase letters. I don't know wife in Spanish. I think at this point I'm not going to figure it out. I'm just going to have to remember, remember the proof of purchase letters. A shoe's gray. So I like S there, just to match tense. So like something that means wearing colorful clothing, perhaps. My word, I say. Bird in the crow family, or jays in the crow family. The J doesn't look very good there, actually. CBS. What does CBS stand for? The last word be system. I think J is not correct. Bird in the crow family. There's crows, ravens, jackdaws. I mean, I thought that blue jays might be corvids, but I think the J looks quite bad there. But I don't know what other bird fits here. 3 letters and an A in the middle. Can't be that common. What's the latest? Any news? Bird in the crow. It's just a daw? Is that a bird? Not just the jackdaw, but a regular daw? Slicker, for example. KVOK is let. That makes a lot more sense. Flea market sites are stands. Slicker, for example. So Rainier doesn't fit. Is the Reactor Oversight Org the NCC or something like that? Court material. So it doesn't just have to be a legal court, it also could be like a basketball court or a tennis court. Just things to consider. I don't know the answer. One handling personal injury claims, I think, would be a civil lawyer. Scale note, sol, as in solati. Psalm beginning, a silent P. That question mark was very helpful there. Is it Lala? But Lala doesn't fit. Does Lala spell their name with double L's? Bill Blocker, you can say nay if you are against a bill. Number after do. This does not look like a number, I'm afraid. But silent P is totally right. According to per, do. Number after do. The E would point to 1, but first of all, that doesn't make any sense. And second of all, the T is more likely to be right than the E, but I think they're both right. On Sunset Boulevard. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're about to die? Does that mean you're happy? Does that mean you're idle? It's not a phrase I've heard. Some regrettable actions are done. Yeah, I don't like idle, but I don't like anything else in particular there. This looks like an Edward of some kind. The pioneering journalist. Part of a foot is the arch. Okay. Makeshift, ad hoc. Is it Lala with two A's each? Is that really how you spell Lala? This is a la mode, so I guess it is. Sunset Boulevard is in LA. Maybe Sunset Boulevard is a street in Los Angeles. I guess it must be a famous street. Some regrettable actions are done on a dare. Due! I was reading it wrong. You got me. That's a cute clue. They got me. I can't even be mad. Casual greeting. Material. A case. The A doesn't look great. Neither does the U. If we get one, I'll probably get the other. Okay, so I think probably the team that signed to join the Big Ten could be UCLA. Casual greeting. A holla? Okay, sure. Ponder. Mull. Core material is clay. So it could be, like I said, tennis or basketball. Depending on which of those courts are made out of clay. I'm afraid I don't know that many margarines. The ones I do know aren't spelled like this. And I don't know this journalist. I probably should. Seems like the sort of name that probably belongs in, in the general knowledge. I should know it, but I don't. Slicker. Oh, I see. Rain gear. Slicker like a noun. Could this be muscog? Mucog? An oasis could get you a date like the fruit. Esposa could be spouse. And WPY and UPY, they mean the same thing to me, which is nothing. So we'll leave it blank. Unfortunately, that means we've got 2 blanks, which is no good. But at least this one is down to 2, whereas this one could be basically anything. Oh, we're not doing great on time. But that's basically expected. It's a bit early in the morning for me. So I'm having I'm having a bit of a slow morning. That's fine. I'm just enjoying the puzzle and not worrying about the clock too much. So if Backney is wrong, because the B looks bad, and I was just looking at this and I think that the A looks bad, because I think I actually like an E here for an ED or ER or something like that. I don't like it enough to put it in, especially because the E looks bad for this word. And the NE does make Backney look more plausible. Unfortunately, this across just isn't going to help me. I guess I could try to think of actors that are William initial last name. But I don't know that many actors, and the ones who have initials in their name, Michael B. Jordan is the only one I know of. Presumably because he doesn't want to be confused with the basketball player Michael Jordan. I don't know any other examples off the top of my head. All the other Williams that I can think of, there's like William Shatner. I don't think he was in Fargo. Also, his name doesn't fit. Also, his name doesn't have an initial in it. I feel like Eschew's Gray should be something that I should be able to get. Maybe dies. Closer to the finish line, say, is ahead. Back knee looks better. The B doesn't look good. Oh, yeah, actually it does, because quinoa or oats are carbs. Side words, me. Okay. William H. Macy? I think that's his name. Read the room. I was pretty confused by this clue, but read the room makes perfect sense. And then UPY and WPY. I think I like WPY better. I don't know if they got fancy with Alfred E. Newman's name. And then Pankay, Pasque, Pake. We'll just run the alphabet here. And if we don't like it, we'll change this to U and run it again. Nothing fancy here. This is an example of just a crossing where you don't know either one because they're both brand names or person's names, and it's not deducible. So those are usually better to avoid. Z. Okay, so now we change this to a U, and if we still can't get it, then we're in trouble. Oh, okay. Oh, no, never mind. I thought that was the correct. But it was the you're wrong pop-up. Not looking good. Okay, so I was afraid of that. Oh, of course, NCC was also a complete guess. NHC, Mudhog, Muchog. It's too early for this shit. I'm looking it up. Similar to yesterday, I don't feel bad about it. Realistically, so I said I should know who this is, but I also feel like, justly or not, most people don't know who this is, which is still fine to put in your puzzle, but if you're gonna put somebody who's not in general knowledge, that's okay if you're willing to cross it with things that are in general knowledge. And the reactor oversight org, maybe I could see it. It probably is something. It probably will be an acronym that I recognize. A margarine whose ads featured a talking tub. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm gonna look up the journalist. Edward Roscoe Murrow. Okay, so the NRC. Yeah, I should have known this. Parquet. I don't feel bad about not knowing this, and I intend to forget it as soon as I'm done with the puzzle. Actually, rainwear was also wrong. That's good to know. Yeah. And so this must be... No, it's still wrong. Okay, so there's an error somewhere. Michelin star, these are carbs. 6-pack of cans, mitigates as easy as close to the finish line ahead. Should have support Isole. I think it's William H. Macy. That name sounds familiar to me. Mio is the Italian pronoun. Alfred Newman, either with a W or a U. Clergy house is a rectory. And Esposa, as much as I deliberated over it, sounds right. At Alii is correct. Easy mark is a sap. Wynette, I think is right, but Could be wrong because the down I also didn't really recognize. So pivot is right. Goal is right. Set the seas is right. Initial here is right. Solati is right. Assist is correct. Flea market sites are stands. In LA, I think it's justified by the downs. Sparkle is pep. My word, I say. Lala. If that is the canonical spelling of Lala's name, then I'm not mad, and that's correct. What's the latest? Any news? Edward Murrow, I just looked up. Phil Blocker's nay. Chuck E. Cheese, of course, is right. Due and Trey is right. Casual greeting Hala, I'm okay with it. Place to get a date is Oasis. According to Per Corporate Serial, Clay. And then Easy Win is a romp. So I was skeptical of, but it works with William H. Macy. Tai Chi, ASL, no relation is correct. Camrys is correct. Ami is correct. Read the Room is correct. Acne is right. Neonate is right. Aliases, common sense. And there's also no typos there or anything. Rap at the door is an Eli. Civil lawyer is right. Why don't we first... Ynet is a thing, right? No, Ynet is not a thing. Ynet is a thing, but it's actually a news website. It's not for tech news specifically. I see. Man, what are the other tech sites? There's like Ars Technica. Obviously that doesn't fit. A-net, B-net, C-net? Could be C-net. Something about that rings a bell. What if we put C-net? And then what if we put a U here? Obviously the time is horrible, but like I said, at some point I stopped thinking about the clock and started thinking about how I wanted to get back to sleep this morning. So I complained about the crossings with Edward Murrow, but overall I actually liked the puzzle. I thought it was perfectly fine. The gimmick is okay. I mean, it's not great as a gimmick, but I guess it is a good excuse to get Edward Murrow and Chuck E. Cheese into the same puzzle. I think I mentioned them at the time, but I liked this puzzle, or I liked this clue number after Due, just because I feel like I'm obligated to like it because it totally got me. Congratulations, you got me. And, like I said, that's fair, and it gives you like that moment of, oh, you son of a gun, when you finally get it. Hala, I was unexpected, but I think that's fine. Let's see. There were a couple things that stuck out to me that I may not have commented on, but that I liked. Sparkle being pep, I kind of liked. It's, there are worse ways to clue pep. I already said I didn't like... It's not that I dislike Parquet, and it's not that I dislike Edward Murrow. I just don't like them crossing each other. Common sense, nice to get that in there, not even as a themer. Just a nice long word, which I've said in the past that I appreciate. Neonate, good clue, good word. So yeah, a couple of stumbling blocks. but nothing too unreasonable. Pretty enjoyable puzzle overall, despite the frankly horrendous time. Alright, that's it for today.